And by the way, the second story happened here in Hyatt, where I live. Yep. When I first moved in 2012, it would have been about less than 3 months after I moved in. It was during summer, and my dad said, oh, go down to the shops, grab some shit, come back. I didn't want to go out that day, but I was forced to, because back then we didn't, in the beginning, we didn't get home shopping delivery here, in the beginning when we first moved in, so I had to go out every couple of days to do a bit of shopping and come back here. Well, that particular day, it was 33 degrees. I had my hands full of shopping. I was about to cross the road at the lights, and there's this beautiful blonde. He was good looking, okay, and that's what I don't understand about these men. He was bloody good looking, had blonde hair, nice, Miller shirt or whatever, opened up, denim jeans, blue eyes, sunglasses, a packet of cigarettes in his top pocket. And he sees me coming, and I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm walking across the road, and he stops me dead in his tracks. And this is what he fucking said to me, and I lost it. Because I'm thinking, what the fuck? No brains, no logic, what the fuck? He turns around, and he can see my hands are fucking full. This is what I don't get with these fuck faces. My hands are bloody full. He turns around and says to me, oh, hi. Would you like to come with me to Southland so we can eat lunch and then have sex? Straight after lunch. I turned around and said, are you fucking serious? He goes, yeah, come on. I said, we can wait for the bus right now. And the bus stop is not too far, right? And I'm thinking, no. I said, look, my hands are full, man. It's fucking hot. I'm only interested in getting from point A to point B. Thank you very much. No. And he's like, oh, okay then. I'm like, what the fuck? Why? 2012 that happened? Fuck me. I'm not supermodel material. I'm not. But there's something about me that lures these men in the flesh. Not just on social media, in the flesh. And that cunt at that park, that kept coming to the park, fishing for young chicks to go and have a fucking quickie in the fucking public toilets. He was a teacher. I scared him the second time he came round. I said, I got him to open up a little bit to me. He told me he had a girlfriend. He told me that she doesn't listen to him, that he's into real kinky sex, that he likes to do sex in public places. It turns him on. She refuses to do it. That's why he was fishing for, chicks, younger kids. And when he told me he was a teacher, I fucking let it rip. I said, listen, cunt, so you're a teacher. So you what? If you asked the kids at school, the teenage girls at school, I said, that's it, I'm calling the cops. As soon as I went to go and get my phone out, he took off. I never saw him again in the area. He never fucking came back. I don't know his name. He never, ever told me his name. All he told me was he was a teacher. And he had a push bike. And he said he didn't live too far from the park. And I'm trying to figure out where does this cunt live, Because this park had 2 cannons in the front. It's Hopeton Gardens, I think it's called. Hopeton Gardens. And there's a street on that side, but there's also a street on the opposite side. And when he took off on the left side. And he kept going down, and I'm watching him, trying to see if he was going to turn into a different street, and I didn't. He just kept going. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, he took off. Never saw him again. That scared him enough. I think that woke him up, and he thought, no, I'm never going to do this again. Or he's not going to do that again in that area. He's probably going to give it another go elsewhere. I've got no idea. And that happened well before I moved here to Hyatt, because I used to live in Elsternwick. Oh, God, what year that would have happened? Fuck. It was while I was working. Oh, no, was it while I was working or when I was at Lionel Hall Community School? Shit, I can't remember the exact year. No, Charlene and the kids. No, it would have been when I was working. Yeah, it would have been when I was working. I would have been probably... Sorry, I wasn't 18. I was older than 18. I would have been, I think, 24 or 25 back then. And he was older than me. About maybe 6-7 years older. And he thought I was a lot younger. He thought I was like 14, 15. He's into young high school girls. But he's got a girlfriend. I attract them. I attract married, divorced men. Oh yeah, the divorced men I attract, the married men I attract, and I also attract widowed men. Oh, they love me. They come flocking. All on social media. But I also attract in the flesh kinky couples who want to have a threesome with me, or a foursome if I'm with a male friend and they assume shit. And random sexual deviant men. I attract that Asian dude. He was wearing a trench coat. And I'm sitting there at the park by myself this particular day, and I'm reading a book and I'm listening to music, and I had a couple of alcoholic drinks with me in my backpack. And I'm sitting there and I'm noticing this Asian dude was pacing back and forth, walking up and down the footpath. And I'm thinking, what's he doing? You know, and he kept staring at me. And then he finally plucked up the courage to come up and, you know, he's like, oh, excuse me, ma'am, do you mind if I sit down, you know, and chat with you for a bit? And I'm thinking, okay, you know, I thought I'd be friendly. You know, I wasn't going to say, no, fuck off, you know. So I thought, yeah, it's all right, you know. I'm keeping a close eye, of course. I was being cautious, but I let him sit down regardless. He sits down, his legs are crossed, and he's like, you know, what's your name? I said, oh, my name's Clara, nice to meet you. And he said, I think he said his name's, no, not John. His name started with a T. Trevor? I think it was Trevor. So I'm Trevor. And he's leant over, you know, and he's, you know, we shook hands. And he goes, oh, how's your day been so far? And I'm like, I remembered I'd said to him, yeah, I'm good, I'm just chilling today. I'm just enjoying the atmosphere. It's a beautiful day. And he's like, oh, yeah, you know. And then he went all quiet, you know, and I'm thinking, okay, this is getting awkward now because I could feel the tension. And then he turns around and this is what he says to me. So, he said it straight out. He was honest. You know, all these people were brutally raw, real and upfront with me. Oh, yeah, they were. But very, you know, odd timing, you know, like, and inappropriate, you know. But I'll cop it all. And he turns around and Trevor goes, oh, he goes, Clara? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what do you think about sex? And I lost it. I'm sorry. But after what happened to that fucking teacher, that so-called fucking teacher, I shot up. I said, I said, nah, that's it. He got scared. He jumped up as well. I said, well, I'm so sorry. I said, no, that's it. I've had enough. No, fuck you. I started yelling at him. I said, go away. No, shoo. Go away. I'm not interested. No. The answer's no. Go away. Oh, he took off like a Zyrtec. He never came back. I never saw him again anywhere in that area either. But I've attracted them in the flesh. And I attracted a dude on a motorbike here. I was walking to 7-Eleven. It would have been close to 1 a.m. at the time. And I was still working at Coles when I first moved here for the first 2 years. And then I was made redundant. And then I started looking for work. And then that's when I was advised by Max Employment to apply for the full carers pension because they knew that I was taking care of my dad regardless. I used to take care of my dad as well as work. But back then my dad's health wasn't too bad. But then my dad had a couple of falls here. And that's when I decided, now I'm getting a bit weary, because I used to do the witching hour. Not witching hour. I used to work the graveyard shift from 1 a.m. till around 6, 7 in the morning. He had a fall a couple of times while I was at work, and I thought, nah, something's got to change here. You know, he can't be left home alone. So there you have it. So yeah, but this dude on the motorbike, you know, I went to 7-Eleven okay. On the way back, that's when I got approached. I saw this dude on a motorbike. He's riding real slow and he's gone right past me. I thought, I know what you're up to. See him turn into the block ahead of me, and I'm thinking he's going to come back around again. I was right. He came back around and I'm walking a bit further down, and then he stopped. And I moved further away into someone else's driveway, a house, that's not mine. And he stopped and he goes, hey, would you like me to ride you home? I said, no, I'm fine. I'm home already. Thanks, I'm fine. And he goes, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I'm fine. Now fuck off. Oh, he took off. And I stayed there on the property for a while because I'm thinking he's going to probably come back around. He didn't. And then I continued walking off home. Oh, I attract them. I attract the sexual deviants. I know what he wanted to do. He probably wanted to murder me, but I wasn't stupid. I knew what he was up to.